Hello, Virgo, and welcome to this, your December 1st through December 15th reading and predictions. For those of you who are new here, a very warm welcome. Thank you so much for clicking and joining. And for those of you who are returning, thank you so much for continuing to support my channel. All right, Virgo, last month, your last reading for November 15th through November 30th, you had the Creator, you had the Fool, you had the Magician, you had all sorts of really, really powerful cards coming out indicating that you were in control of creating a new future for yourself, that you were going forward onto a new path. But there was one caveat to that, and that was there was something that you needed to let go of from the past. Let's take a look at the cards and see where you're at and see if you have managed to move into this new manifestation or if you're still in the creating process along with the Creator, the Magician, and the Fool. Let's see what comes up for you, Virgo. Where are we going to go first? Let's get some cards pulled. So for those of you who are new here, I do not edit my videos. What you see is what you get. The camera glitches sometimes. It bounces around as I am in an RV. I live in an RV with my son and move around. I do have a very fat cat that travels with us, and as she jumps around and moves around, it sometimes wiggles my camera. I stumble over my words. Sometimes I flip cards and I have to get up and climb around underneath my table to pick them up. It is what it is. It is all part of the fun of doing these readings for you guys. Okay, we have one card coming out. Oh, okay. So the first card that we have out for you, where you are at now, Virgo, is the Thunderbolt card. This card corresponds to the number 16 card, or the 16th card in the major arcana of the tarot. For those of you who are familiar, you will recognize this as the Tower. And what this is telling me is that coming in from your last reading wherein you were being asked to let go of something from the past in order to be able to become the creator and the magician in your life, what this is telling me is that either here now, as I'm recording this for you at the end of the end of November, with the purposes of covering the time frame of December 1st through December 15th, the where you are at now card is indicating that you are currently experiencing or on the verge of experiencing a tower moment. What is a tower moment exactly? A tower moment is a moment that happens in our lives that may appear to be unexpected, but it really isn't unexpected. It's a moment in our lives where it seems like things go awry, things go off the rails, and we're going, oh my gosh, where did that come from? That came out of the middle of nowhere. But the reality is, Virgo, that when we have tower moments, we can look back on those tower moments and go, I should have seen that coming. It's generally an indication of the universe saying, you need to make a change. Hello, I'm trying to get your attention. Please change. Hello, there's something that you need to leave in the past. You're holding on to some kind of grudge or resentment. Let it go. Okay, here's another warning for you. Okay, fine, here's your tower. Okay, it's, and a tower moment is usually, in hindsight, you will look back at it and go, yep, that was a slap upside the head that I really needed. I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't doing what I needed to do. And now I have the opportunity to move forward in my life and make positive changes, a positive outcome, and so on. And so this is the only card that came out for where you are at now, Virgo, indicating that there is likely to be something that happens to you or has happened to you in the past few days where you've gone, ugh, this is going to be a royal pain to have to deal with. And yet it was necessary because now I'm seeing the bigger picture of something that I should have seen before. Let's take a look at what you are focusing on moving into December, the first half of December. right, we don't have any cards flipping out, but I think these might fall out. They're kind of loose on the end there. Yeah, there they go. Okay, so we do have a few cards that have come out there for you. Let's take a look at what you are focusing on. In the order in which they came out, we have the Ace of Swords. Sorry, my light is not very good there. Ooh, we have Temperance. And we have the Page of Wands. Why would the Page of Wands come up? Oh, okay. Okay. So the Ace of Swords is about new beginnings, and the Ace of Swords is typically about new beginnings that are going to happen from a very logical decision, from a decision that's come from the mind as opposed to a decision that's come from the heart. And it is it's a card that is actually really positive to see after a Tower card, or a Thunderbolt card, as this one is called in this particular deck, but it has the similar meaning to the Tower. So the Ace of Swords coming in immediately following a Thunderbolt or a Tower moment for you, Virgo, is actually a really positive sign, because it's an indication that something has cleared out of your psyche from this Tower moment, and you now have the opportunity to think more clearly and to start something new. Start something new from a place of logic rather than starting something from that place of emotional upheaval or something of the likes. Yeah, this is just a card of clarity for new beginnings, mental clarity, logistical clarity. That is accompanied by the Temperance card for you. Now, the Temperance card is a type of balance card. It is a card that calls us into being in balance and harmony and not barreling forward with something. Temperance calls for, what's the word? Moderation in what we are doing rather than going barreling ahead. So far, everything in your reading is indicating that you're experiencing some kind of upheaval here at the end of November, and moving into early December, you are moving into a new beginning that you are creating from a very logical, clear place, but that needs to be tempered with some kind of moderation rather than just barreling ahead. Which brings up the Page of Wands that you have here. Now, the Page of Wands is an adventurous, and sometimes all of the pages are somewhat immature in taking their actions. Sometimes they can be a little bit headstrong when they rush into things. But this card coming out right next to the Temperance card for you here, Virgo, is advising some caution with regards to barreling into things. The other thing that the Page of Wands can often represent is the opportunity for travel. Now, whether that be some form of astral travel in your mind, meditation for better clarity, or whether that's indicating actually the necessity to get into trains, planes, or automobiles for the purposes of physically moving your body from one geographical place to another, is really up to you, Virgo. But this is hinting that for you to make the shift into this new beginning here, there may be opportunities for some travel involved, and to keep an open mind to that opportunity. What I'm picking up, Virgo, is that for some of you, travel is the furthest thing from your mind for various reasons. You have different reasons for not wanting to travel right now. Some of you is just your homebodies, and you like sticking close to home, and you have your comfort zone. This card may be indicating you need to get out of your comfort zone a little bit in order to be able to experience this new beginning. Or it may also be that you don't want to travel right now because there is some upheaval that's happening in the world. And so there is an aspect of fear that is being brought into this decision-making process. Either way, what this is saying with the Temperance card and the Page of Wands is, if an opportunity presents itself for you to travel for the purposes of manifesting this Ace of Swords, this new opportunity or new beginning, temper your decision with moderation. Consider all of the aspects, but don't immediately just slam the door and go, nope, I'm not going to travel. Okay. Make your decision so that it is well informed with all of the information before you actually make the decision. That's what the Temperance card is asking you to do here. Let's move in, Virgo, to what is challenging you this month. Okay, we have cards jumping out all over the place. We have 3 cards that have jumped out so far for your challenges. Let's see if there's anything else. Okay, so in your challenges, you have the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles represents abundance. Now, this is coming up in your difficult influences, indicating that you may be experiencing a cash flow situation at this time, and that may be one of the reasons or one of the aspects to your decision or hesitation in travel with this page here. But this is coming up in your difficult influences. What this means is that this is a here and now struggle. We all know that when cards are pulled, they are pulled for the here and now with predicting the future, but they are also pulled with the intention of giving us the heads up of what we can achieve once we put certain things behind us. So your current state of mind, I want to say, Virgo, your current state of mind regarding financial abundance is what's affecting you with regards to the flow of abundance to you. I'm going to recommend something. I don't normally do this, Virgo, but Regan Hillier. She is a Mind Valley speaker. You may love her, you may hate her, you may love or hate Mind Valley. That's entirely up to you. I'm not saying go out and buy a Mind Valley package at this point in time. But if you look up Regan Hillier, she has a video where she talks about her own experience with abundance. And her realization or her aha moment about her own, what was keeping her poor is, I mean, it's a short clip. You can find it on YouTube. And it's about a 5-minute video where she talks about her aha moment and her realization of what was keeping her poor. And she talks about purchasing blueberries versus purchasing strawberries. Now, some of you may already be familiar with her story, but I highly recommend you look that up and you listen to it, because it came in as a really, really firm reminder for me while I was turning this card over for you, Virgo, which means that I am meant to share it with you. Like I said, Regan Hillier, look up her story about blueberries versus strawberries. And that is going to be very telling for you with regards to this abundance card coming up in your difficult influences. Abundance is about our mindset. And when we change our mindset, we have the opportunity to increase the abundance that we have. The other thing that you have coming up in your difficult influences is the ordinariness card, right? So for some of you, and as I was picking up with this card here, for some of you, part of the reason that there is a resistance to travel and change And there is definitely resistance to change, because one of the things that came up in your cards last month was change, leave the past behind you, and you can move into a huge, brand new beginning, along with the Creator and the Magician and the Fool. And yet, this Tower card is telling me that for a lot of you, you resisted that. And so the universe was going to kind of push that upon you. And part of the reason that a lot of you Virgos resist change is because you like your ordinariness. You like your routines. You like things to be just so. And when you're pushed outside of that comfort zone, it's quite uncomfortable for you. Where does that push us when we're pushed outside of our comfort zones? It pushes us into a form of laziness. And not just laziness, but what's the word I'm trying to come up with? Complacency, right, Virgo? I mean, when we're pushed outside our comfort zones and outside the ordinariness of our lives, and it makes us uncomfortable, we can withdraw into complacency. And so this is coming up in your difficult influences, Virgo. And so this is something that during the first half of December here is something that you are being encouraged to pull yourself out of that ordinariness, step into this change. I mean, last month you had so much encouragement towards huge change, and now you're being encouraged to a new beginning again, potentially even involving some travel. And here you are in some complacency and ordinariness, and that is directly affecting your opportunities for abundance as well. Okay, messages the universe wants you to hear at this time. We have two cards that have popped out with messages on them for you, Virgo. First one, do not relinquish your power. That makes sense. I love it. I love it. All right. You are struggling against abundance right now. This came up in your difficult influences. As I mentioned, mindset is a huge part of abundance. The way we think. And like I said, look up Regan Hillier and her story about strawberries versus blueberries. And your message that the universe wants you to hear at this time: abundance is your right. Let me say that again, Virgo. Abundance is your right. One more time. Abundance is your right. So if you would like to begin to change the mindset with regards to abundance, change one word in this so that it is your new affirmation. Change this your to my, and make this your affirmation for the first half of December. Virgo, abundance is my right. Abundance is my right. Keep repeating it. You've got two cards in your reading, both indicating that part of the reason that you're bumping into abundance issues, mindset. Change the mindset. Abundance is my right. That is your new mantra. Let's look into what is unexpected for you. Unexpected for Virgo. Oh, we had a card jump and then it went right back in the deck and decided not to come out after all. We have, the Unity card. The Unity card corresponds to the number 5 card in the major arcana of the tarot, and that would be the Heirophant. All right, now we know how you're going to move into more abundance and into this new mindset. And we're getting no further cards for your unexpected influences. And that makes sense, because I would say that out of all of the cards that come up, one of the one card that comes up that probably involves the most internal work for us, Virgo, is this card, the Unity card, the Hierophant card. And what this card is all about is looking at the major institutions that have influenced our lives and determining if the beliefs that they installed in us still resonate or not. And if they do not, how do we go about releasing and changing and shifting out of those belief systems? So let me give you an example. Now, this is not a popular example. It has nothing to do with my belief systems. I just like to use this one because it's a big one and it does affect the vast majority of people on the planet, generally at some point in time in their lives, unfortunately. And that is monogamy. Okay. Now, the institution I'm talking about, the very first institution that we have come into our lives is the family. And then, society in general, religion, our education, our post-secondary educational institutions, and the work institution that we then step into, or businesses that we then step into, and our belief systems surrounding those. Those are the big ones. There are some minor ones as well. Our friends, of course, but our friends are part of our society and our community, those belief systems. So one of the major belief systems across just about every society on the planet is monogamy. Where did that belief system come from? Well, the vast majority of societies and cultures hold monogamy in as one of their values, one of their really important values. I know that there is a small portion of the population, but they are in the minority. We're talking about majority because majority influences our own belief systems. So the vast majority believe in monogamy. Why? Why? And does monogamy still serve our highest purpose today? I don't know. Does it? Did it make sense at some point in the past to eliminate humans' desires to be with more than one partner throughout their lifetime? Is there something to be said about being with one person for a lifetime versus being with several different partners, not at the same time? I'm not talking about it necessarily being at the same time, but for example, divorce. Divorce is taboo, and we don't do that, and don't divorce. And yet, is it realistic for humans to have one partner for 40, 50, 60 years of their lives? Does that resonate for you? All right. Now, I'm not saying that the monogamy or the single partner throughout life is your issue here and now, Virgo. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that these are the types of questions that the Unity card or the Hierophant brings up for us. Huge concepts, typically concepts that we accepted unconditionally from the time that we were born to the time that we are in adulthood and sitting here watching a video from a psychic. And yet some people watch their videos from psychics in secret. Why? Because their family doesn't approve of psychics. And yet a psychic and going to the internet and getting psychic readings both on YouTube as well as paying money to see a psychic one-on-one for a private reading is part of what you enjoy doing, Virgo. But your family doesn't approve, so you're hiding it from your family? Does that serve your highest good? Does sneaking out to go see a psychic resonate for you, or is it time for you to buck that system? These are the important questions that are going to be coming up for you as you move through December, Virgo. So I know that I got really wordy here. I know that this video is getting long, but I did want to go deeply into this card because I do feel like this card, especially when it comes up in the unexpected, is a card that requires a deeper explanation, because it's going to cause you, Virgo, to go very deep. Now, this card coming up, when you have cards indicating you are bumping up against your abundance blocks, abundance beliefs, chances are, whatever the Heirophant is bringing in for you, whatever belief system the Heirophant is bringing in for you to deal with the first half of December, is probably directly going to relate somehow to your beliefs around money, Virgo. Where are we going for your final general overall outcome? Let's take a look. Oh, all right. I don't know if you guys could see that card fly out, but there was definitely one card that just flew right out. And so that is your card for your general overall outcome. You have the White Witch. Be the light. This is your final card of your reading for December 1st through December 15th. And what this card is telling me is that you are ready to step into the light and step into the role of being a mentor and leader for others, Virgo. That is your new beginning. Your realization that what you have to offer to the world is far more important than you ever thought it was, and it is time for you to step forward into that. Now, you'll notice on this card as well that there is an owl, the wise old owl, thus indicating that you are stepping into that position of being the wise woman or the wise man for the purposes of being a mentor to others. So now we know. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to wrap it up, Virgo. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. If this video resonated for you, please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel. And I noticed that my video is all loopy at the end. Oh well. Take care.